Hello my friends and welcome back. Well, today's video has to do with Russia's assets that were confiscated by countries after the Ukraine-Russia crisis, invasion, war, whatever word you prefer or you think would qualify to describe whatever happens. I would say war. It's not like a ping pong game. So this article comes from Reuters from May 1st, 2022. And it says that Russia should expropriate West assets over theft of Russian money. Lawmakers said that. Um, I'm gonna point out the the words that this author Guy Falconbridge and Lydia Kelly used to refer to the Western seizure of no, grab of the expropriation, let's put it this way, of Russian assets from their countries, how they refer to, what words they use, versus the Russia's countermeasure if that would be implemented. So Russia should confiscate property owned by Westerners in response to a proposal by US President Joe Biden to transfer the frozen assets of Russia's elite to Ukraine, Russia's most senior lawmaker said on Sunday. So this is Reuters. Russia should confiscate property owned by Westerners. Confiscate, like it's a bad word, right? It's illegal. It's, in response, not illegal, but it's a strong word. In response to a proposal by U.S. President Joe Biden that makes it, like a little bit more legal here, more nice, to transfer the frozen assets. So those assets were not confiscated by those countries. In this case, let's say United States. It was froze. Like we're just gonna keep it here because we say so, and then we're gonna transfer it. That means give it to someone else. Oh my. Biden on Thursday stepped up support for Ukraine, asking Congress for $33 billion from the money we don't have to help Kiev and allow the U.S. state to seize more assets owned by them. Why not confiscate? Could be the same, right? To me, confiscate is a little bit stronger, but seize is also a good word here. More assets owned by Russian oligarchs and give the proceeds to Ukraine. It's not only the assets owned by oligarchs, because I know that Russia has some of its own reserves stocked in Western countries, and about, I think it was $800 billion dollar worth of, and they are frozen as well. Frozen, you know what I mean? So they can't use it to pay certain things. They're trying to access that to pay their debt, by the country's debt, and they couldn't because they were frozen by the lovers of the free world and free market and capitalism and freedom and democracy. Yeah, because they are so involved in something they are not part of, actually, of the war. Let's put it this way. So Duma chairman, we have cars here. Now we have an airplane. What's next? A tank, I guess, or a rocket. So Duma chairman, those things don't really happen, but all of a sudden, because I'm on here, they say, "Oh, Emily's uh, recording, so let's go and make some noise around." So anyway, Duma chairman Vyacheslav Volodin said that sumptuous yachts and villas of Russian oligarchs had not helped Russian development, but that the West appeared to be engaged in simple theft. I don't know. It's I don't even know why these guys would what was the word here, confiscate this oligarchs' property, just being Russian citizens. I don't. Okay, because why? Because they're part of the Russian economy. Okay, but they're civilians, aren't they? What are you gonna do with those yachts? You think those yachts will help the Russians attack via Black Sea, or go on Volga, or what? Why? Why? It's like kindergarten, kindergarten. You know, I don't like you. I'm gonna step on your toys and break them. I don't like you. I'm gonna do this. It's just uh, and it says here it is right to take mirror measures towards businesses in Russia whose owners come from unfriendly countries where such measures were taken. Confiscate, why not freeze? Confiscate these assets, Volodin, who often voices the Kremlin's view, wrote on his Telegram channel. He said the proceeds from the sales should be used for the development of our country, he said. A dangerous precedent has been created. It should hit the states like a boomerang. Well, Mr. Volodin, this is a precedent that happened many times before that I'm aware of, and I'm surprised you're not aware of. Iran's assets were frozen. Afghanistan's assets, Iraq's, Syria's assets were. Every time it was the same pattern. So yeah, that you're just now to the receiving end. As I see, Russia's invasion of Ukraine prompted the United States and its allies. There's no allies, as I said before. They're just vassal states and leader to impose the most severe sanctions in modern history on Russia and Moscow's business elite. Okay. Steps President Vladimir Putin cast as a declaration of economic war. Why don't you say which is a declaration of economic war? Why it's just Putin? That's how would you define that? But you use Putin being a bad dude, claiming something that we know is not like that. He's just using rhetoric here. um, well, then Putin just did we disagreed with the confiscation of foreign goods so far. So we find out after the West imposed sanctions on Russia, the 1.8 trillion economy is heading for the biggest contraction since the years followed the 1991 fall of the Soviet Union amid soaring inflation. Yeah, and these smart people, geniuses here, they said that once they impose whatever they impose on Russian banks, kick them out of SWIFT, and this economic war that they started, they said that the ruble will just disappear, will crash, will. And yes, at the first 2 days, it didn't do well, but now where is that? It's better than it was ever was. I think it's just not that ruble is a great currency, but it bounced back under all these sanctions. And it's what, with 2 months and a week, or 2 months and 2 weeks in this war, uh, and they say, yeah, it's gonna come. Yeah, the problem is gonna come, but as of now, you failed, you experts. That's why when I hear experts or analysts or senior analysts, and okay, who are you? Okay, let me see your name. Do a little bit of a search and find out that you were involved in some analytic work on Syria or Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan and your Yugoslavia, which is what, so many years back, 23 years back. You're still like, what? You said all kind of inaccurate stuff then. Why should I listen to you now? And one of them is that guy. I mean, there's many of them. That's many of them. So it says here that Russia has proposed putting companies that have left Russia into external administration. External administration. That Kremlin chief Putin has said Russia. And Kremlin chief Putin has said will now look eastward to China and other countries after what he cast as the West perfidy. How would you call that? Love and happiness? And Volodin signaled out Lithuania, yeah, Latvia and Poland. These are the spear tops, the tip of the spear of the big bosses that are little lackeys that bark, and maybe they gonna have a bloody nose soon. but they hope that their bosses will do what? They expose their countries and their people to something that could be a disaster just to please some guy over there, 3 or 4 thousand miles to the west. It's unbelievable. But well, if they want it, I don't know how many Lithuanians and Latvians and Poles really want that. And if they want, then well, I don't know. And the United States. So Volodin signaled out Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, and United States as countries which were engaged in the theft of Russian assets. That's the right word. They put it in quotation marks, theft. I'm surprised the Russians did not do anything. They are crying in the West that, hey, now we Volkswagen leaves, hey, Mercedes or Continental tires, they stop producing and blah, blah, and they're all afraid that the Russians will take over and nationalize it. What do you want? So what do you want to happen as a reaction to your action? What did Volkswagen or Mercedes or Continental tires have to do with Ukraine and Russia's scuffle? Countries. Do you have a business? Well, you decide to okay, I'm not going to do business with you. We're just going to stay like this. And the Russia is supposed to do what? Okay, great. Thank you very much. You tried to stab me and I'm just going to take it. And I say, you know what? We might think of certain things. Oh my God, no, 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 please. Hey, anybody help us. The Russians are doing this to us. I understand the principle, in let's say in Volkswagen's CEOs and investors' eyes, probably the United States, this whole thing is a bad thing, and they feel that they should, punish Russia. Okay, I got it. But if you punish someone according to your assessment, then the other person or the one that you punish could do the same thing to you according to its or his or her assessment. And don't get all, upset about it. Nevertheless, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if the Russians will nationalize anything because they don't they don't they do not do this. They would not do this to show the Westerners that they are good guys. Like, let's say we're not going to nationalize it. We're not going to seize these properties. We're not going to freeze them and then transfer them and sell them to others or something. Because I think they want to send a signal to the countries, other countries than the, let's say, 20 countries that are lost. Those 20 countries, like some European countries, United States, Canada, and some other ones, like Japan, they're lost. You can't convince those leaders and those guys. It's done. But you have other countries, other leaders that are in between, and they look and they say, so if I deal with the United States, they will withdraw from a contract we signed, like the Iran one, right? That President Trump just said, we're not going to, we sign it. My predecessor signed it, but I'm going to just pull out. A contract is a contract. Remember Macron and Scholz and all these guys? Yeah. And then they look and say, oh, these guys are using threats and blackmail, and they seize they take my assets once they don't like me, or I do something they don't approve of. And let's see what the other ones, how is the other group dealing with this kind of situation. And see, these guys are not doing that even under pressure. So I think I like these guys better. So that's why there you have a lot of countries that have, like Vietnam, for instance, they have even Pakistan, it was India, that are not, or Indonesia, or other countries that they then do not want to use and condemn Russians so strongly, and they're in between, and then the big club is upset about all this, and they try to, warn them of consequences. The same way of doing business. And now they have Japan going from country to country in the East Asia and South Asia to convince them that, hey guys, you gotta condemn Russia and you gotta join us. And everybody says, no, we condemn war in general, but you know what? Just see you later. Well, I think the Russians just want to set an example that they will not do this like the other countries will do, even if they're at the receiving end or however you want to call them, bad dudes and so on. And that happened in the past 20 years with Russia. They didn't do what the other club did, what the club did, because they are trying to say we're partners. We're not going to apply the same rules. Probably they would, probably they should, but as of now, I think in the past 20 years, That's what I observed. They have a better record in keeping a contract, and dealing with other countries from a more equal food step or food holding or whatever you want to call it be. Instead of these guys, no, we're the boss. You do what I tell you. Otherwise, threats and blackmail. We'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See ya.